Hey folks, welcome. Well, hey, I'm back in action. Farmer James, Vermont mountainside beekeeping. Yeah, it's been a long road to recovery. If you folks don't remember, I hurt my back trying to get these beautiful hives ready for a Vermont winter, and man, I've been working. As you can see, I have these 4 rows of hives, survivor hives that have done pretty good, and also hives that didn't do so well. And again, I'm glad to be back to say hi. Welcome to, again, Farmer James, Vermont mountainside beekeeping, and I'm really having a time trying to keep up with this little micro sideliner beekeeping. And everything has been going on in the yard. There are a lot of changes. No more truck cap. Doing a lot of moving around. Moved a lot of gravel. And the colonies are growing. And I did lose some colonies, as you see on the front row. Over here. So these colonies going across all the way over there were hit with Formic Pro because they had mite loads that were in the teens, and I needed to get mite loads down to keep those other rows in the back there going pretty good. So the mite bombs did what they did to the hives, and out of the 3 survivor colonies, including the nasty bees, which are, I think, the survivor stock, yeah, right there. So the nasty bees are done, and my swarm right here is doing pretty good. And yeah, that was a pretty stupid video I did, but hey, I just did it anyway just because I do what I do. But I've really been doing a lot of school. I've been finishing that Master Beekeeper program, and I've been feeding my bees protein powder. And like I said, folks, you saw what I did. If you didn't, I've been doing that Ultra Bee powder. Also, I've been using Dr. Carlson supplement and my syrup. And this time of year, I'm doing a lot of basically letting them take in what they did. And they did take in a lot. They took in a lot. But I'm giving them 15 gallons of the Pro Sweet mixed with Dr. Carlson's Nalcivit to get them through whatever they need to. So, yeah. So a lot of hives have shrunk, yeah, because I hit them with the Formic, and it did a toll. It knocked out a lot of bees because, as I learned from one good beekeeper, is that mite bites are left, and when you hit them with that acid, it burns and it kills. So Formic Pro is great, but it's not what my go-to is. But I didn't want them to injure any of these new Carney queens I have, and you could see that those hives are doing pretty good. I have 5-frame nukes that I did. I also have some deeps, depending on how those queens did for me. Let me turn this fence off. So depending on how the queens did, I either kept them in a formation of 2 deeps, or I kept them in just mediums. So I have different setups, where, as you see in that row over here, those are daughters of what was in this front row. And that is a daughter over here. Yep, yeah, so over there. So, yeah, those are daughters open-mated queens that I had mated successfully on her own with mutts of stocks of Carneolans over there, which are down in double deeps. So if you folks have been following Farmer James Vermont mountainside beekeeping, you've seen how the apiary has grown, and how now that we are in this time of year, I'm also trying to do, because it's 80 degrees and the bees are going zonkers, so the bees are really busy. They're very busy. They're very active. And as you could see, based on that platform over there, they are doing quite well. And that's because I have open feeding I've been adding at least 2 cups of the Ultra Bee powder because our temperatures are, oh, let me get through this elderberry lot, which I'm plowing down and passing this elm tree that had that swarm that I caught. So that elm tree caught that. So I'm doing open feeding because I want the colonies to fairly build up on their own, and they are doing that. These are the doubles, and I have these that are the packages I got this spring. So out of the 8 packages, I have pretty much what you see, and that is 7. So 7 out of the 8 are pretty good. So I like those ads on those California carnies. They're doing pretty well in double deeps. You could see how active they are. All of these colonies were evaluated with either an OK and or a OKV, which is very good, very satisfying to see. So that's what we got going on. And the reason they are very active is because they are getting, after receiving, at least 2 cups of that Ultra B powder, because again, it's 80 degrees, folks. It's nothing out there. It's dry. We're gonna have a hard frost, they say, coming up in a couple of days, but it's 80 degrees. It's been that way for the last 2 days. Tomorrow's supposed to be 78. So I've been trying to just give them what it feels like is a spring flow. But I'm using, obviously, 2 to 1, but I'm using Dr. Carlson. Also, Hive Alive liquid. I'm not getting paid anything, but that's what I'm doing because I'm trying to feed them as much as I can to get these kind of results where you see how actively they are bringing in sustenance. So that sustenance is they're going right into the hive, right into the bee frames, those brood frames. No, because they did slow down because of the great dearth. Because of that dearth, that's why I threw it in that Ultra Bee pollen, because I'm trying to build up winter bees. And that's what I need. As you can see, this apiary has grown. And that's because I'm trying everything scientifically, trying everything naturally. I'm trying everything I can so that the bees can enjoy the natural forest that's behind me, as well as the natural atmosphere that gives me award-winning, black jar award-winning, national, globally honey. So these bees are having a grand time today because I'm giving them as much of open feeding syrup. And yeah, folks, this is what I decided to do. So there's chunks of honey, there is chunks of cantaloupe, there is 2 to 1 syrup, there is Hive Alive liquid. So the bees are ingesting everything that they need, and those are the empty buckets. They clean those empty buckets out in seconds. But the bees are getting exactly what they need right now, and it saves me money from putting top feeders on every hive. And this is my version of open feeding. Okay, so I'm getting all of this kind of activity from the bees, and again, they are getting a lot of different food blends. Some are really going to town, and some are dying probably because they're gluttoning. And that's my mistake. But I did leave them things that they could sit on. But because they are going to town, they seem to be fighting over this sustenance. So again, I'm trying to do my best, but a lot of the bees seem to be just getting over gorged out. Yeah. So also, this is telling me, anytime you invest in the top high feeders, yeah, make sure you have something in there. Floating devices, I used a lot of different wax comb. So each of those colonies do have wax comb. And you could see, man, these bees are fat with nectar. Okay. These bees are gorged out. They're hanging out here. They're just licking each other mostly because, man, they just can't believe the amount of glory they're getting. And neither can I. So, got to be careful because I got bees coming on me from everywhere. So, yep, getting stung because I'm not doing what I should be doing and I'm in their way. So, yeah, folks, welcome to Farmer James's open feeding program. I'm not telling everyone to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing something different. I'm trying something different because I'm just trying to feed as many bees as I can because I don't have the funds to feed all these bees. I don't, okay? I'm trying to do, and imagine if I had all of these hives with top hive feeders, I would be going broke. So, again, if you haven't been here, you haven't seen me, I've been doing what I do, drop cell phones, drop video, do what I can to keep my bees natural in the state of Vermont, in the mountains of Vermont, in the Green Mountains of Vermont. And I try to also get grants. I try to write grants also to school. And my little Japanese maple seedlings are doing pretty good. And these all started from little seeds that I saw sprout out from my Japanese maple trees that are over here in the back over there. Yep. So anyway, thank you folks. I've been gone trying to recover from my back because this year was a really fast growing year. I have another bee yard I'll be starting next year. That'll be my production yard. This will be my breeding yard. And I'll let you folks know how it goes. And by the time you tune in for that, I should have my master's from Cornell. And thanks to Dr. Underwood and her tutelage, I've completed a lot of her different programs. Hey folks, thank you to Farmer James, Mountainside Beekeeping. How are you folks out there? I appreciate what y'all do. Farmer James, be well.